Hello, everyone. This is Ben. Debbie's asked me to take care of this call for her this week. So welcome out. We have a few, we might wait 1 minute more. See if we have other people coming online. Can you hear me? Okay. Ah. We're going to be talking about the share guide today. Just give everybody like 1 more minute. And then we'll just start talking. All right, let's go ahead and start. So usually we start off on these calls and everybody shares a wonderful experience that they've had or some success that they've had this week. If anybody has any of those to share, you can go ahead and share that with us now. I'm trying to think of something. I think I've already shared my experiences. Oh, you're on mute. Let me see if I can unmute you.
Okay.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
So, I have classes on Tuesdays, and one thing is the girl who takes care of all my social media, she was getting mad at me because I wasn't posting pictures at the classes, but I'm too involved in the class to be taking pictures of people.
Yeah.
And so she had this great idea to start giving free 5 ml roller bottles to people who post pictures and tag me in all my social media accounts at the event.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and so I thought, okay, I'll just do whatever I have, extra of or a lot of. And so I started making these 5 ml roller bottles, and I've done it maybe 3 times. This last week, I had people posting, and I got probably 15 leads in just 2 classes. Yeah, of people. Who is it? Who's your oil lady? Who's doing this? Where is this at? We want to do it. And just yesterday, that was on Tuesday. So on Wednesday, I sent out a ton of samples all over the country because of those social media posts.
Wow, that's really great. Ton of samples. That's fine if you're going to get 15 leads.
Yeah, it was amazing. And some are from my hometown here, but, I had Nevada, California, Utah. I was sending them out everywhere because people were saying, oh, I have this or I have that. Could I try this? Could I try that? And so, I had a new enrollment, and she had 7 of them. So I said to her, okay, are you ready to have a class? Because then you get this book and you get a diffuser if someone signs up. And she was like, absolutely, I've got 2 classes I want to do. So that social media, it gave me an in on who wanted to be a part of it. And I could push her a little bit, knowing that there was that many people who wanted her to do it.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So all it was you asked people to take a picture of an event and post it on social media, tag you.
Yep.
And they get a free roller bottle.
That's it. And sometimes they put me in the picture, sometimes they put themselves in the picture. But usually like this, and people want to know, what are you making? How? And it's just taking a picture at the event, tagging me, and then my phone gets a little ding, like, you've been tagged in a picture, and then I just give them that little 5 ml roller bottle of citrus or Balance or whatever it is.
That is awesome. A little 5 ml roller bottle. Okay. That's great. Great. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have some successes or something working great that they want to share? Anybody?
Hey, Ben.
Yeah, hey, Dan.
I'm here.
How you doing?
Off in the bathroom, so I got on late. Sorry. So yeah, I did a class up in Buffalo, Wyoming, which is about an hour from my home, for Diamond Club, Wednesday night with one of my team leaders. And it was really interesting. She had some people that came that she didn't really think would actually show up. And the ones she thought was going to show up didn't. But it worked out really well because it was actually 2 of the guys that came to the class. As I was teaching, it was an emotions class is really what I was teaching. I did the essential emotions, and then she had a make and take planned for afterwards. And I told her, I said, well, we're going to go through the regular class so they see the value of a kit before we move into the make and take, because I don't want them buying 5 make and takes and leaving without getting what they need.
Yeah.
We walked through the class, and as I'm teaching this class, both of these gentlemen are sitting there nodding their heads in complete agreement. And so we got all done, and the one guy, he says, you know, I had an account a long time ago, but I don't know what happened. And it was just some lady he met actually in Gillette, and they lost connection, and his mom was with him, and his mom's like 83, but you'd think she was about 65. And he's had all kinds of health problems, that kind of thing. And so between the 2 of them, they live together, they share a house together. So she got an account, and they ended up like with a 250 PV order. And then the other gentleman, he stays home and takes care of his mother with Alzheimer's, and also raises 3 boys while his wife works. Okay. And so it was really interesting dynamic to experience having so many gentlemen come to the class, and they left, and he left with, I think, a 350 PV order. And he wanted the Natural Solutions kit, but it wasn't quite in his budget, but he could have almost had it with what he spent, but he had some other things he wanted besides that. So really interesting. And then the funny thing is, we really didn't end up doing much with the make and take, but she did have a couple of other wellness or wholesale customers that were there that made a couple of things before they left, but they were also great with their testimonials to share. So that would be one of my tips in a class when you have some wholesale customers or wellness advocates, have them share their success stories in the beginning to build that credibility.
Yeah, great. Fantastic. Those are all great experiences. That's really good. It's good when the guys get involved, and it's good when, you know, people are sharing around. And I agree, having other wellness advocates, especially, you know, we have continuing education classes or whatever. If you have other builders come, they bring friends or whatever, but they're able to testify. We've been in classes where, you know, you say, who here already has an account? And half the people raise their hand, and the other half thinking, oh, I got to get in on this. Because everybody else is doing it. So yeah. Absolutely. Good. All right. Anybody else have something they want to share? Okay. So some of the news in doTERRA, I'm trying to think of what's new. I saw something on the Diamond page. There are some products that are sold out. Let me see. Here we go. So the citrus Citrus Bliss Bath Bar. They're out of stock, but it'll be in stock next week. Cleanse and Restore still out. Beautiful. The Beautiful deodorant is also sold out. So everybody's putting on a lot of deodorant. Oh no, that's the Bath Bar. So that's soap. Beautiful deodorant sold out. Baby line. We're supposed to be getting that this month. So look for that. Okay. Zendocrine Complex. They're saying September 2019. So that's the current timelines we're looking at for those products. So convention is coming up. Dana, did you know if Debbie made a decision on what day we're having the team party?
You know, she didn't, I don't think, confirm it because she was really struggling with not wanting to miss the street party, but so I don't know. She's still was going back and forth because she really wanted to meet up with all of Jen's team and they leave Friday. So she hadn't made up her mind yet.
Let's see if I can bring up the events. Where are doTERRA's events? See all events. Let me see if I can share my screen. So when I looked at it, where are the events? There we go. Learn more. Okay, so convention. We've got, there's the galas on Tuesday, then general session on Wednesday, the street party. So she doesn't want to have it on that night. And she doesn't want to have, there's a team night is Thursday, and you said Casey is having her event on Thursday. Is that right?
Yes. Yep. Casey's got hers.
So Friday, is there any reason why we can't have it on Friday? Because some people might be going home.
Yep. I know Jen's team is.
Let's tell those people not to go home.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's us. Yeah, we've got to head home. We've got kids and things going on, but next year I'll know better to stay longer.
That's all right. I think so on Saturday we have the Empowered Success training. We should encourage everybody to come to that. There's nothing, no training about and there's never has been any business training during convention, which is a good thing for, I like how doTERRA does that. And it's real kind of evidence that, doTERRA is first about essential oils. And we market them through network marketing. A lot of network marketing companies, it's all about the business opportunity. And so this is good evidence that, it's just product education. So I'm sorry about that, Jen. So.
It went Empowered Success. What is that?
What's that?
Empowered Success.
What's Empowered Success? So Empowered Success, there are these guides. So Empowered Success is basically doTERRA's business training. You've got, and this is doTERRA's Empowered Success. So if you go up to resources, you have business training, Empowered Success, business blog, Empowered You, which is the strengths training. That's the only thing that's in there right now, and doTERRA University, which is their old stuff. So under Empowered Success, you have the guides. You have, you got the Facebook page and all of those things. The Live, Share, Build guides, the class presentation guides, the launch guide, the sales guide, and all the rank guides. So last year's Empowered Success training was the first year, I think, they had it. Was it last year was the first year? I think last year was the first year that they had the Empowered Success training. So this year, I don't know how they're going to, what they're going to do, but it'll probably just be, let's dig into, some business training. And the cool thing about convention, most people who come to convention, it's like their first time every year. Yeah. And so the doTERRA knows that. And so they keep everything really simple. So they cater to, this is your first time to convention things. So we'll get lots of new product training and stuff, but you'll get lots of the basics as well. So that's what's happening on Saturday. And it was a separate ticket. I can't remember if it had a separate expense to it. But anyways, so for Jen, we'll have the street party. We'll get together for that. So that'll be cool. We'll have the gala. That's a celebration together, street party celebration together. Casey Vaudry's celebration on Thursday night. So we'll be able to meet together as a team 3 times already. The Friday will kind of be like a let's have a debrief, let's get together kind of one last time. So I think that's what we decided, right, Diana?
I think that was
Friday
she
night.
was leaning towards. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna tell everybody that's what the deal is. So burritos at Debbie's house Friday night after the general session. So I hope that's okay with her. I just invited everybody. Last year we had a sign up thing, so everybody didn't bring like the same things because we all pitch in, bring chips, salsa, tacos, or whatever condiments. I think so. We'll have to organize that as time gets closer. So find out who all on your team is coming to these, and we will. We can then plan out. I think Debbie, last thing I heard from her in the last email was just let me know how many of your people are coming. So that's where we are in the process, I believe. Okay. Any other news? Things that we need to know. At Diamond Retreat, doTERRA had announced some new tools and resources that will be coming out. A tracking tool to track like how you are ranking compared to as enrollments, like for the doTERRA wide competitions, how you are ranking compared to everybody else, and maybe how you can track your people. Diamond Club, there is a new Diamond Club resource. It's a Diamond Club guide, and I think if you're in Diamond Club, you should know about that. Did you hear anything about that, Dana?
So, it's kind of interesting. They did a like their kickoff conference call, and they actually did it. But there is some new like printable stuff, but I haven't found an online thing in the portal. So I don't know if that is within the regular doTERRA or if it's in their Diamond Club portal.
Yeah, I don't know either.
They are, posting their ranks like they normally do. They have the weekly report that they run and then post it up there. But that didn't look any different than when I did Diamond Club 2 years ago. So I'm not sure about the new thing.
Let's see if I can find the new thing. Resources. Brand new Diamond Club guide view. Oh, I think I found it. Let me see if that's it. And I'll okay, there it is. Diamond Club guide. I haven't looked through it.
I have not seen that, so thank you.
Well, I'll put it in chat for you.
We have another
big link
next week, so maybe they'll talk about it next week.
Okay. They sent it out to. I have an app. They have a new way of communicating with diamonds, so they're going to roll that out as well. So.
Sweet.
And so what they also talked about in Diamond Retreat was that they will have an app for Diamond Club, like a way that you can check in, you can keep track of your expenses and everything like that. So. Yes,
because I downloaded those new tracker things. Those are new from last time. They didn't have those.
Okay. So they've already kind of rolled that out, have they?
Yeah, we didn't have the whole guide given to us. We only had like the tracking forms given to us.
Okay. There was something else. they had. They have a tool coming out. Let me see if I can open that up as well. Oh, I lost it. There it is, doTERRA tools. Come on. My mouse is giving me problems. Come on. No. That doesn't want to. Come on, stupid mouse. Okay, there we go. Let's try that. Let's see if it works. It wasn't working yesterday. They're just testing it out. There we go. Okay. So you can see your standing, your points, your enrollments and everything as you go forward. I don't know how well it's working, but anyways, that's what it's going to look like when they get it all up and going. So
that was for the women so far?
That was for the Prime Wellness thing.
Oh, I didn't know if everybody could access it yet.
I don't know. Here, I'll give you guys the link. See if you can access it. But I know that it's in beta, so it doesn't really work all together. So some things work, some things don't. So they're working on it, but you can see kind of what it will look like.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So any other things you guys want to bring up before we jump into a bit of training for today?
I think that's good for.
All right, let's jump into some training. So the sales guide, this is what I've been going over with my team. We just kind of rotate through different training modules and stuff. Lots of great stuff going. I'm kind of trying to reorganize the training that I do for my team because let's face it, we kind of go through the same things over and over as people come into doTERRA. You know, you have people that you meet, you introduce the oils, and then you help get them some education and everything. And you invite them to do the business, and those who do choose to do the business, you take them through some all similar training. So it's you know, I'm going through and kind of organizing our own training along those lines and stuff. So I'm excited for that, as well as, you know, all the other things that we do. And one of those trainings that doTERRA has just recently come out is sales training. So I'll give you a little bit of background behind this. So we are in sales, right? And no matter what industry you're in, you're selling something. Whether it's you're selling your services, your time to your employer, you're selling broccoli to a child, you're selling something, right? So these skills are transferable to all areas of life. However, for your doTERRA business, when we go out there and we tell people about essential oils, we need to improve our skills sometimes to encourage people to take advantage of something that's good for them, right? We're out. Most people in doTERRA, they start off with the oils. They start off with as a wholesale customer, and they go from there to start building. So a lot of those people who are building doTERRA as a business, they started first with the oils, which is great. So but having said that, you know, it becomes very difficult if you don't have some basic sales skills. Sometimes these come very naturally to people, and a lot of these skills that are in this guide probably have come naturally to you. And the point of this guide is just let's fill in the gaps. Let's work on the skills that we don't have or that we need to improve on. So, in fact, at the very end of the guide, if I could have you ever gone to the end of a book that you're reading and you're like, how does this book end? Do I really want to read this entire book? So here's the end. Let's go to the end first. Let's have our dessert first. So there is a score sheet right here where you can go through this guide and give yourself a score on each area. So it's split down into 9 skills plus the top stuff. and it tells you what page where you get all those scores from. And then you would revisit that. You would come back and improve those scores. You would look at your lowest score, choose your lowest scores, and set some goals on how to improve those scores. So it's meant to be an interactive, ongoing thing as you can. Oh, can you not see my screen? I'm sharing it.
Yeah, I can see it.
Let me stop and I'll share it again. Just see if that does it. All right, can you see the screen now? Barrett's iPhone?
Yes. Yes.
You can see it, Dana? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay, good, she can see it. Okay, good, thank you so much for pointing that out. Okay, so let's go right back up to the top here. And let me put this in the chat as well. So if you guys want to access this, you can access it on, Empowered Success on doTERRA's website, but there's the link as well. So hopefully Debbie will get these links and put it in with when she sends out an email to everybody else. Okay, so let me give you a brief overview of this guide, and it'll kind of give you an overview of all the sales training. One problem we had in doTERRA was that a lot of people are paying lots of money to go somewhere else for the sales training and stuff. And you get what you pay for. You go sometimes you go get some training. It's always a good idea to continually invest in personal development and personal things. Like we just went through that Deb Erickson training. Fantastic training. It was I Can Sell and Recruit, right? So those skills are kind of covered in this guide as well, but in a different way. And what she offers is great too. But here's a basic training that you can give your people. Okay. All right. And I'm still kind of working out how we're giving this training to our people. We're talking about that this week in our calls. So, as I said, the doTERRA way is sometimes different than other companies. You're selling. We're really heavy on the product, and most of us are people who love the product and then have come to it because they want to share the product, and then hopefully build a business out of that. So that's the first kind of worksheet thing that you're filling out here, is thinking about how you have benefited from having doTERRA and how you will be able to benefit other people. So what this is talking about is being a product of the product. Okay, and then here's the sales cycle that is basically the rest of the book here. The first step here is kind of a mindset step, embracing sales. And a lot of people, when they first, start teaching, and I don't know if you guys have been this way, but you think of sales as, this is I hate sales, I don't want to sell it to my friends. I don't want to, it's uncomfortable for a lot of people because when they think of sales, they think of this amateur. So on page 4, they have a list of amateurs, qualities of an amateur salesperson versus the qualities of a professional salesperson. And obviously, it goes without saying, we want to be in this side of the table. We want to be in the professional. But if we just first recognize that there's a difference here, there are two types of salespeople out there. We don't want to be this type of salesperson where they don't care, the amateur doesn't care what's being sold. They use pressure and manipulation to close the sale. They're frustrated when they get rejected and they take it personally. They think they know everything. They leave when people, after they've sold to someone, that person feels icky and conflicted and they just don't feel good. They're pessimistic. They have no broader purpose. But whereas a professional, and this is where we're going to concentrate, they know the product. They believe in the product. They know the product backward and forward. They create a sharing environment. It's service, right? What does it say in the launch guide? We're solutions providers. When we talk to people, when we teach our classes, people leave in a good mood. They leave, having been edified, right? And we're okay with people saying no. We're out there to serve. If our product doesn't, if they're not ready, willing, or able at that point, then that's okay. We're looking for the people who are. So we're detached, right? And we're coachable. We know that we don't know everything. We're here to learn, and that's why all of us have come to this call today. We're positive. We have a vision for our life and our business. We have our why, a deeper why that goes, maybe deeper than the money. And we find a way. All right. So going through this mindset portion of the sales training is we need to look for where have those icky feelings from sales come. If you have any of your wellness advocates that don't like sales and have a problem getting over that, where does that belief come from? So on page 5 here, we're breaking down those misconceptions of sales. You're thinking about what are those negative experiences that you've had and what are they like, and really digging down and say, oh, this is why I have a block here with sales. And then the next step is to think of a positive experience you've had. And we've all had them. A positive experience you've had with someone selling you something where you're like, I've had it, I go to buy something just this last week, get a new TV. And I'm like, oh, I have to do all this research and everything. I just want someone who's done the research, who knows everything. I can tell them who I am, what I want, and they will serve me by helping me through the purchase process. Yeah. All right. So what are you guys' thoughts on this mindset portion of sales? Have you guys run into this? Have you ever felt that? Maybe as you began in doTERRA, have you felt a block with sales that you've been able to overcome? Or maybe haven't? Dana?
Yeah. So when I first got into doTERRA, there was no question the day I went to the class, I was in and had to have them, but I wasn't going to sell them because I done marketing and I was not doing it again. And then pretty soon I'm getting checks because I was just helping people sign up to get their own stuff. Uh-huh. And I was selling a few things here and there, but I didn't understand how to sell retail. Like I didn't have any training on that. So I was just selling them my cost because I didn't know any better. And I was like kind of a lone wolf for a while until Debbie found me. And so anyway, I was just doing kind of muttering through, but I had this real big hang up that I couldn't make money off my friends. And the money was evil kind of thing, And so I thought I had to give it all away to justify making it. It was a weird kind of thing. And I have to admit, Deb Erickson's training, I've been doing her stuff, I think almost 3 years now. Uh-huh. And that really gave me a huge shift in how I see money. And it's really just an exchange of energy. And so we get to bless other people's lives by showing them about oils. And you're right, they can take it or leave it. And a lot of times they might leave it, but they'll come back later. So yeah, a huge mindset for me. That to me, that's a key. Anybody can learn to sell, but until you have your mindset right, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. Mindset's really important. Mm-hmm. Anybody else have something they want to share about this section? Okay, let's move on. Have you guys heard this dichotomy here? Mindset, skill set, tool set. Those are like the 3 things. And this is a good way of looking at your business and how it's going forward. So key habits. So the mindset is super important, but without the tool set or skill set, because sometimes people think, oh, I'm just going to think my way, get it all, you do, there are some principles you have to follow to be able to make progress, right? So it's not just about the way you're thinking about it, the attitude, but sometimes having the right mindset will help develop those as well, and vice versa. So this book is kind of split up into those different areas. So let's, so the next thing is talking about, I think I would have organized this booklet differently. The next section here is talking about sales essential. Listen before you sell. So important. And I think this maybe should have been included as one of the 9 skills there. But it's very important. And this, I guess it is kind of part of the mindset. You know, it's being that solutions provider. You can't really provide solutions if you don't know what solutions people are looking for. So sometimes when people show up to a class, if you just start off the bat and start blah, 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 talking and everything without finding out about people's needs and wants, you know, it'll be almost impossible to sell unless something you're saying happens to meet one of their needs and wants. But in doTERRA, there's so many things that we could say in our natural solutions class. I mean, what oils are you going to choose to pass around? You can't pass around all of them. But if you took a moment, and in the natural solutions class, you can ask people about all this. You know, ask them to rate themselves. There's that second page there in the natural solutions guide where, you know, you kind of go over, okay, well, what are your needs, right? So you've got the second page there. Just at the top it says, I want to feel more of blank. I want to feel less of blank, right? I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about here. And this here is in the Live Guide when you have that lifestyle overview. So just take a moment to listen to people, to get to know people, and then you provide the solutions. Okay, and here's some reflection you can do as you go through this for your own training. Using powerful language when you're talking, and you can see less effective, they're all short, more effective, they're longer. So it doesn't mean be more verbose, just means be more explicit or specific. Instead of I sell essential oils, I help women become the best versions of themselves by using natural solutions to improve energy, sleep, and wellness. Many people sell essential oils. You're providing a complete wellness lifestyle. Okay. It's
hey, Ben,
yep.
I have something quick to add right there.
Yeah.
I did Michael Burnoff's training down in Scottsdale. And I think Debbie has the membership also.
Uh-huh.
And yesterday he had a call, and it was actually a free call. Anybody could have been on it. So he does that every once in a while. But what he said, he talked about the language, and this is huge right here, is mastering your language in order to communicate with people. And he said that same thing. I sell oils, like, boo, you know, that doesn't do anything for most people. and even when I've had people say, well, like, do you sell like motor oil or what, you know? I mean, so,
yeah, true.
And especially where we live at, I mean, we're the energy capital of the world. I mean, we have coal and oil and natural gas. And so that is not a good phrase around here, because they're going to look at you thinking you work as a salesman for one of the oil companies.
Yeah.
So anyway, what Michael said though was, consider when somebody says, what do? Turn it back in a question to them. And you say, have you ever, and then you pose it into something that they're going to want more information about. So have you ever struggled with losing weight? And they're going to say, yeah. And then, well, what I do is I help people find natural solutions using essential oils to lose weight. So it's a dialogue going back and forth right off the top.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
So I put it out in my, my business referral meeting yesterday. And it was really cool because we get 60 seconds to ask for stuff. And so I asked for Diamond Club referrals and given away my little abundance roller that I made. But I started out with a question like that. I said, have you ever done something that was kind of scary, but you knew it was the right time and the right place to do it? And then I moved into asking for those referrals. But that one question, you could see in their eyes, it totally shifted. They usually sit there kind of glazed over. And I'm not saying that to be mean, but you could see that they were thinking about, and they connected immediately with me, a time that they had went back to, and they did something that was kind of scary, but they knew was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is very important. Sometimes, you know, if you use vague language, you're not really communicating or connecting with people. It's almost as if you're brushing off the question, like you're just giving them some sort of an answer. But this is more of a conversation starter, and really that's what we do in network marketing. We build relationships, we start conversations, we make connections, and so that's what this more effective column is doing. The less effective column is kind of like shrugging the issues. This one, you don't have to buy anything. I've heard a lot of people say this, and it's almost as if like they're telling, because this presents to the mind, it makes people think of not buying stuff, or it makes people think of, oh, this is buying is negative, or that there will be some pressure. And it's true that they don't have to buy anything. And maybe the concern that you're trying to address is, you know, they've come with their arms folded and their legs crossed, and they, you know, even Jade, she had some guy that was pitching something to her the other day. She's like, oh, I'm going to listen to what he has to say, but I'm not going to buy anything. Right? We all do that. We go to, sometimes we know that they're going to be sales pitches at the end, or maybe the whole thing is going to be a sales pitch. And we decide beforehand we're not going to buy anything. And so some people come with that concern, and maybe our energy is, I want to alleviate that concern. So this is a much better way to do it. At the end of the class, I'll show you how to get these oils in your home and help you pick out the best solutions for your family. It doesn't say that, you know, I'm going to sell you or I'm going to make you buy something. My intention is to help you know how to buy it. So I'm here to help you through the purchase process. And I think that alleviates the same worry that other people have. Here's kind of the opposite. It starts with a long, less effective, and has a short effective. So it's not about being more verbose. It's about being more direct. You would really be helping me out if you give me the names of your friends. This is kind of inward focused, right? It's focusing on us. You're going to help me out if you put your reputation on the line and and your relationship with all your friends on the line for me. Like, how does that help them out? Who do you know that I should be talking to? Again, this is very direct, and it's focused on serving. Not serving us, being inward focused, but serving the people that we should be talking to, right? I know how you feel. Others felt the same way, right? If someone has a concern, I totally get it. Maria said pretty much the same thing. After understanding everything she can do with Natural Solutions Kit to help her family, she was excited to get started. So it's giving them the solution, right? Let's book an appointment. Let's set up a time to visit for a few moments. Sometimes the formal language, like class, appointment, that formal language that we want to slip into because it sounds, sounds like we're smart, or sounds like we're professional. We're still professional, but this is more connecting. This is more, how you would speak to a friend. That's what we need to do. All right, I probably spent more time than I should have on that. Anything else anybody wants to say on the powerful language thing? Okay. So I talked a little bit about the mindset, skill set, tool set. So they've broken down the mindset keys into accountability, coachability, vision, perseverance, positivity, and graciousness. And if you look here on the professional salesman, that's basically this column, right? Well, so it's the mindset behind being professional, and we're in the service industry, if you think of it that way. Skill set, user success tracker, connect with people, invite people, have good presentations, enroll people. So this is basically your pipes, right? Overcome objections, which will be later on here. See, launch and train page. It's also one of the last pages in this booklet as well. These are all the skills from the other train guide and the launch guide as well. Book classes from classes, create a custom platform, prepare, host, from the share guide, build a business. Okay, from the build guide and train guide. So skills, habits, responsibility, time, priority management, control the controllable, practice, and consistency. We talked about last time the blocking off your time and stuff. Here are the tools. So there's the tool set, which is kind of what we just went over. The launch guide, share guide, build guide, live guide. Everybody should know those from the Empowered Success. It reset on me. Well, that's not fair. But you know where to get those. There's the Empowered You training. The only thing in there right now is the strengths guide. But I'm guessing doTERRA's vision when they first started Empower You, their vision was to put a lot of personal development stuff there. But right now the personal development, in the rank guides, there's like a personal development book, recommendations on the first few pages, and then you've got the strengths guide. Okay, key tool set, habits, discipline, systems, preparation. And here's the sales cycle. So the rest of this booklet just goes through the sales cycle, and there's 9 points to it. Before we go into those, anybody have anything they want to share about the tool set or the skill set items?
Something I went through with my leaders on Monday was looking at the triangle. And so if you're not getting the results you want, your triangle might not be equal. So you might be spending too much time on mindset, or you might be spending too much time, just doing your tool set. And so sometimes you have to take a step back and look at where you're spending your personal development time and maybe do a little bit of an adjustment so that you can put your triangle back towards equal again.
That's a good point. It's like at Diamond Retreat, they're saying, hey, sometimes you're training yourself to death. You're doing too much time training, right? Building up skill sets. Or it's like Deb Erickson, she's saying, if you're doing everything you can, and more skill set training is not going to help you, because you're blocking yourself. You got to have this mindset kind of component to it, which is obviously important. And I think we have the tool set. You just need things to help you do your business. And the tool set could be the guides. It could be a calendar. It could be a to-do list. It's just those tools that you do to carry out your trade. Okay, doTERRA sales cycle. These are the 9 simple steps. Connect, invite, introduce, educate, close, enroll, answer objections, and gather referrals and follow up. So, and they've placed it along the pipes thing with connect, invite. At the present stage, you have introduce, educate, and close. So that'll be helpful to understand, how those are different. What introduce means. It's all in that present stage. Under the enroll stage, you have enroll, answer objections, gather referrals. So as you're enrolling people, in the support stages, the follow up, right? Okay. So why don't we just spend a couple minutes on each one of these, unless anybody has anything they want to add to that. Okay. So the first step, connect. How important do you guys think connecting is in your classes? Could you make a sale without connecting to people?
No.
I think you can. Deb Erickson, she talks about 3% of the people have bleeding necks. They'll enroll no matter what you do. So they show up and they would, if they had seen these on a billboard, they would have signed up for them. So just you being there, having a class, but that's only 3%. And they're, you kind of can't mess up with those people. But everybody else, you kind of have to have that connection. Because we do see some people that, they've signed up and they they don't know who their enroller is. But I think this is so important for the 97% of people, because they need to feel that kind of they need to feel like you've got their back. They're going to give you their credit card information. They're going to give you like their date of birth and everything. And in this day and age, there has to be that some amount of trust there. So I guess on that level, Dana, yeah, no, they've got to understand or trust you at some point. And connection is about trust, isn't it? So what do you do to connect with people? I tell you, at the beginning of our classes, we have that time as people are coming. We'll introduce ourselves, tell a little bit of ourselves, and briefly share our story. So if you briefly share your story at the beginning of class, state your intention, those things right there should be a connection. And as you're doing this, finding out about people, when people, what book was I reading? Is let people talk, or find out questions. Oh, sorry, not that one. Listen before you sell portion, right? When you're doing that kind of find out and you're asking people questions, I can't remember what book it was, but he was telling a story of, this guy, he said, I set a goal, I'm going to find out everything about him, but not tell him anything about me. And then at the end of the conversation, the guy's like, wow, this has been a really great conversation. And it was just the other guy talking, but he was listening, right? And he felt a great connection with the person who was listening to them. I think it's just one of those fundamental things we have as humans, to want to be heard, to want someone else to understand us. And when we know someone understands us, they can see us, then we feel that connection. All right, anything else you guys want to share on the connect thing here? Anything, Dana?
I think it is important, though, when you're teaching a class, if you have time, to allocate, depending on your class size, to find out what their background is, as far as if they've had any kind of oil experience.
Yes.
Because you kind of tailor the class a little bit to that.
Yeah. I totally agree. I remember this one lady came to the class and she's like, oh, I've been using essential oils for 15 years, so I know everything about essential oils. And it was kind of like one of those people with folded arms, I'm not going to learn much here sort of thing. And, we just said, great, I'm so glad you're here. Maybe you can help me teach this class, and then during the class, say, okay, what are the 3 ways that you can use essential oils? And as you get going, they realize that, oh, there's a bit of information I didn't know, or you're just filling in the gaps. Because what they don't know is doTERRA essential oils. And doTERRA essential oils, as we know, I think it's like 90% of doTERRA's oils are proprietary to doTERRA, so you can't find them anywhere else. So sometimes what works with doTERRA's oils is not going to work with other oils most of the time. But yeah, you're diffusing that I know everything attitude, huh? All right, the invite stage. And this could be inviting, I think this could be inviting someone to use a sample, or it could be inviting someone to come to a class or a one-on-one, right? And this is kind of the same kind of training that we have in the other guides as well in terms of invite. This is in the sales process. And there's a sample script here. Sample scripts are good to give us some guidance. Anything else we want to add here? The inviting thing? I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Now remember, the present thing was split into 3. So the first one is introduce. So you're introducing you. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for having me. You're stating your intentions, what you want to what your goals are for the class, and just kind of introducing yourself and the subject matter. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say on that one? Okay, the next one here, educate. So this is basically, you know, teaching the guide. So you match benefits and products to that will, you know, help them with their problems, needs, pains, or goals. I like this. The goal of the presentation is to enroll customers so they can get started, not to teach people everything about the products. I remember one of our team members had an 8-hour class. It's like, let me teach you everything I know.
I had something to add there, Ben.
Yeah.
When I was teaching my class Wednesday night, and it was afterwards, so we were kind of doing the follow-up with each of the new people, and then the wholesale customers were making their make and take, and the one gentleman that takes care of his mother and raises the 3 boys, 2 are 6-year-old twins, and so he's pretty busy. And we were talking about the Natural Solutions kit, and I asked him, I'm like, well, what do you do? Like, how's your energy level? And he's like, oh, he didn't really want to say. And I said, well, do you have enough energy to take care of everybody? And he's like, well, and you could tell he wanted to just say no, but his mom was standing there right beside him, you know? And I told him, I'm like, do you take vitamins? And he says, well, no. And he says, I didn't think I needed them. I'm only 45. And so we had this great conversation about vitamins because it wasn't even a thought that he might need them and why he might need them. And we went into Terrazyme and PB Assist and some of the benefits him and his family could get. And, you know, he didn't actually end up buying the Natural Solution kit that night to try the vitamins because he had a few other things that were more pressing. But it allowed him to open up the door that, oh, he might need that. And so it'll be great follow-up when we do his lifestyle overview. So sometimes in your education, you just have to ask a few more questions to help them see their need.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's very good. All right, so let's move on to close. This is the last part of the presentation stage. And very important to ask for the sale, right? So instead of just saying, do you have any questions, or how did you like it? You say, what stuck out to you the most? What kit do you think you would, like to sign up with? Or, just you have to have some way of transitioning, right? Here's some. Why do you feel your spouse would be excited to get these oils in your home if you were certain? I mean, what I say is, would you like to get started, or would you like to set up a wholesale account tonight? If you set up a wholesale account tonight, I'll give you this. Do you need help filling out your form? Or what kit do you think you would like to start with? I don't know. Is there a way that you use to transition? Oh, did you guys see that Elise Sedavi how to close video that someone posted in the last little while? Yeah, she talked about this. It was a good. It's kind of like what we were talking about before, though. Anything you want to add on close? All right, the next step is enroll. This is good advice. Don't give them too many options. Give them the solution that they need. Make suggestions. Sometimes people just need to be told what to do. That's more helpful than say, okay, here's like 16 choices. What do you want? You say, okay, here's your choices, and this is what I would recommend for you, and this is what I did when I started off, or something like that. Okay, answer objections. I like this. You can go through these objections later on. Acknowledge that they have the objections. Summarize your concern, and you can also, restate it. So if it weren't for that, would you be okay to get going with, start your journey with essential oils? Ask for permission to explore. I think we can come up with a solution. Yeah. Would it be okay if we brainstorm some options together? You can reference a third party's experience and say, the example we read earlier. Oh, Sally Merriweather had that same concern, and this is what worked for her. Last week, Susan had the same concern, so she hosted a class and invited 10 people and blah, 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 and she got some oils for free. Issue an invitation. Are you open to your friends? Blah, blah, blah. So here's some concerns. Why doTERRA oils? Money, spouse concern, don't see a need, buying from an MLM. Right? And you can check if those are concerns or just excuses. Anything you guys want to add on that? Answering objections? Then the last one is gathering referrals. I think it's very important. We go everywhere we go, we're always trying to meet people. And it's really easy to ask, who do you know that, that I should be talking to? And then step number 9 is follow-up. They say the fortune's in the follow-up. But really, I would say the majority of our enrollments come after the fact. Maybe it's the people that we attract. They want to think about it, mull it over in their heads. But, we have a high enrollment rate at most of our events. And not all of those enrollments are at the event. Some of them are, a lot of them, more than half are during the follow-up stage. When we're, okay, can we get together for lunch? Or, you got to ask permission to follow up as well. All right, guys, I showed you this already, ranking yourself on all of those, and then going after those that are going to help you. All right. That's it for today. We're at the top of the hour. Anybody have any questions or anything they want to share or express? I think this is a good training. You just have to take it one bite at a time and step through it and work on your skills a bit at a time.
Yeah, this was good. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for being here. I think the video goes automatically to Debbie and she'll upload it for everybody. But yeah, thanks for jumping on, everybody. You guys have a good weekend and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Dia. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, sorry, I've had my kids, so I haven't participated. But thank you very much.
I understand. We'll see you later.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much.
Have a good weekend, guys. Bye.
You too. Bye.